him in the long run.
Boy, guys, how about the offseason the Oklahoma City Thunder had? The acquisition of Paul George, one of the elite two-way players in the game, now playing alongside Russell Westbrook. Look out, everybody.
All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. On the court for the Knicks, they've got Enes Kanter. Porzingis is out there with McDermott. Then there's Hardaway, and it's Lee in at the two-guard.
Just strong work defensively there in the low post. You got to be tough down in the paint.
Boy, he really anchors well on the block. Very difficult to back down.
That's his first personal foul.
Now the Knicks with it. Hardaway kicks to Lee. Back to Hardaway. There's the triple. And Lee with the basket on the assist from Hardaway. Lee's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Kept alive, goes back up. Anthony. Tries yet again. Persistence pays off as they finally hit a shot.
And there it is. After 4 straight misses, finally nail one.
The Knicks have gone 1 of 3 for the field to start this one so far. Got that bucket in no time at all.
Well, this is a clear case in point of where the comparison to Dirk Nowitzki is so apropos. Not many 7-footers with that kind of range, Kev.
Porzingis with the steal. First quarter, about a minute and a half in. Kicks it to Lee. New York moving it around. And Porzingis, here we go. And he uses the glass on the layup.
Timeout.
Porzingis has got 5 points so far.
Oh, nice play there. Kristaps making his presence felt on the interior.
And first time out of the game called for Oklahoma City.
And watching Porzingis play, you forget how tall he really is in terms of how he moves. Not only how quick he is, but also that skill set. Incredible that a player his size won the skills competition in last year's All-Star festivities.
Here's Oklahoma City now. 6-point game. Pass to Anthony. Screen by Adams. The kick out to Westbrook. Passes it to Carmelo. Over Porzingis. And again, Oklahoma City, no good. And that is what fools a lot of NBA fans about Porzingis. Most of the highlights, Greg, you see are his blocks and putback dunks. But if you watch his game, you see that skill level.
It's rare to see a player who's the complete package like Porzingis. I mean, he's fluid. He's got the easy-looking shot. It almost looks like he's a guard shooting the basketball, comfortable creating for himself or playing off others.
Oklahoma City shooting their first free throws of the game.
And they were 75% from the line a season ago.
That free throw good from George.
And I'll tell you, Paul George continues to get it done. He gets buckets and plays hard-nosed defense. This is a guy you can build your team around. Boy, he's just been so consistent, right? I mean, every time he's gotten to the stripe, he's delivered. This is great stuff.
It's been a slow start here for Oklahoma City. They trail by 6.
Look, Kevin, that's not an easy play. Paul George is an extraordinary player. Keeps his eye on the bucket at all times.
The Knicks have gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. Lee passes to Porzingis. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City.
Boy, with that much space around him, maybe he's better off attacking the basket than settling for the jumper.
Snatched up. And again, Paul George. George has got 6.
Well, there's no quit in Paul George's game. Sticking with the possession, rewarded because of his hustle.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here.
You know, the Knicks last season, obviously, they underachieved on the court, and it seemed to me it was the distractions off the court that people will remember perhaps more than the losing. A lot of infighting, some incidents that the team just want to move away from.
A different look for New York. Kyle O'Quinn comes in for Kanter, and Sessions subbed in for Courtney Lee. And in this first quarter, about 3 minutes played. Doris, one of the bigger stories last season, as you mentioned, was the melodrama that was going on between Carmelo Anthony and the Knicks front office.
You know, Kev, I thought it was a toxic environment that made it difficult for the entire team to function. Really a relief for Melo to see himself in a new situation.
George, no good.
And even without that three-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
And Sessions kicks to Porzingis, tries it from the top of the key, pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way. He's got 9.
Well, you've got to look at this guy's shooting as one of the main reasons they've been able to build this lead.
Adams. And Adams with the slam.
Yeah, this is why Adams is such a high percentage shooter. If he gets close to the rim, he's going to finish with authority.
Adams brings the double team. Porzingis against Anthony. McDermott for 3. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls.
Oh, Kevin, that is Paul George, the incredible vertical and the unbelievable creativity.
And the replay presented, of course, by Under Armour. Unleash chaos. Great stuff and some great basketball going on. Out of bounds, Oklahoma City takes possession. Ennis Cantor's checked in for New York. Lee comes in for Sessions. Oklahoma City's gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. Baseline jumper. Rebounded by McDermott.
Well, I'll tell you, it hasn't been his best quarter, but we know he won't get discouraged. This guy will keep grinding. Boy, what a nice carom there, guys. He can really use that size and length to his advantage.
And a good example there of why it's important to change ends quickly.
Well, that's how you attack in transition. Remarkable effort, getting as high percentage a look as you can really get.
There's a screen by Cantor. The 3 from Porzingis. Over to the wing. Westbrook with the steal. Oh, and a fast break for Oklahoma City. Here's Anthony. And Roberson kicks to George. Off target with his 3. At the end of 1, a closely contested game so far. Oklahoma City out in front, up by 2. In the second quarter. And a moment now to hear from Steven Adams as he reflects back on a life growing up as the youngest of 18.
So, like, the youngest over there has to do everything.
Hard to imagine growing up in such a huge family, but it sounds like maybe it prepared him for life in the NBA.
Yeah, I'd say it might have toughened him up a little bit, that's for sure. Wow, 18? That is mind-boggling.
Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. What stands out to you from Oklahoma City in this one?
Through that first one, they've turned this thing into a track meet.
I'll tell you, they've simply been more assertive in the open floor. They're leaking out early, converting with confidence.
Here are the 5 New York has to start here in the second. Porzingis is out there with Ennis Cantor. Then there's Hardaway. Then it's Lee. And it's McDermott in at the 3. And Greg, with Ennis Cantor last season, he had to miss significant time with the broken hand, but his offensive game is something to watch when he's healthy.
He just plays hard. He provides that instant offense off the bench, a great array of post moves to pick from. He hit 1 3 in the first, but the well has been totally dry for him in the second.
Westbrook drives in. That doesn't fall either. He's missed his first 2 shots tonight. Puts up a 3. And it's Lee, that time on the assist by McDermott. Lee's got 6 points.
Yeah, just no reason Lee should be left to shoot open shots from there. He's a remarkable long-distance shooter.
Adams dishes to Anthony. Stolen by Cantor. Lee outside. The pass to Porzingis. Fires the 3. And it's out of bounds. They say last touch by Adams. And here in the second with about a minute and a half gone by. Porzingis passes to Lee. And there's another one for the Knicks.
You know, and that was a nice find by KP. Saw the open man. He was on time, on target with the pass. Perfect.
And George, here we go. Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow. Porzingis with the ball. Westbrook picks him up. McDermott kicks to Cantor. New York moving it around. Here's Porzingis. That doesn't go either for Porzingis.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
Here's Anthony. Porzingis with the block.
You know, when you drive the lane, you have to know where Porzingis is, because with his reach, he can sneak up and send that shot away anytime.
Greg, when you think about the franchises in the league that have sustained success, who are always competitive, Oklahoma City should be right there at the top.
I mean, just look at the records for the Thunder, and their success really does speak for itself. 8 straight seasons of 500 or better basketball. Only the Spurs and Rockets can also make that claim.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over.
Yeah, I think Coach calls his timeout right now because he's not happy with the distribution of shots. Difficult shots, contested shots. You've got to get a better offensive rhythm.
And Paul George kind of made it known of his desire to leave for L.A. after this season, but big risk for the Thunder to make that move and trade for him.
Raymond Felton, who's checked in for Oklahoma City. Then for the Knicks, Beasley comes in for Doug McDermott. And it's Ntilikina in for Hardaway. And here are the Knicks now, trailing by 2. Here's Porzingis. No good that time. Good work defensively by Anthony. And for Paul George, who knows what the future holds for him. But, Greg, he is a great fit, it would seem, for the Thunder.
Listen, you give the Thunder another star to pair with Westbrook, and they're taking a leap of faith here with George. And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
And it's out of bounds. The Knicks will take it the other way. And a new group getting ready for Oklahoma City. Johnson, he's checked in for Adams. Patterson comes in for Carmelo Anthony. Jeremy Grant, he's checked in for George. And Alex Abrinas subbed in for Russell Westbrook. New York's gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. Pass to Ntilikina. Inside, here's Cantor. And Cantor throws it down.
Yeah, there's a physicality and intention to what Enes Kanter does. That's a tough shot.
Well, Thunder have gone 3 of 8 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. Felton kicks to Abrinas. Back to Felton. The feed now to Patterson. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
Listen, if you're open, Felton will find you. He has just such a great feel for the game.
Pass to Porzingis. Cantor with a screen on Johnson. Doubled by Felton and stolen by Felton. Here's Abrinas. That's good, and so Felton has the assist there. And the Thunder lead by 2.
Well, Felton doing a terrific job finding guys for high percentage looks.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. New York shooting their initial free throws of the game right here. The first one falls.
Well, Enes Kanter continues to prove his worth, guys. An outstanding player on the offensive end.
Kuzminskis, he's checked in for the Knicks. He makes 1 of 2 that time.
Well, you just look back on the history of the New York Knicks and what rich history and tradition they have as a franchise, the different eras, the different groups they've had, some of the more memorable teams in NBA history.
Knicks trail by 3. The dish to Lee. Second chance shot. Cantor's shot is off.
Boy, the defense gets into his head and alters his release when he really doesn't have to.
And plenty of contact on the shot, so 2 free throws coming up. And there's the call. New York with the foul. For Oklahoma City, they have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both. That's good from Johnson. The Knicks making a switch here. Hardaway's checked in. So he gets them both. And it's the Knicks with the ball. It's a 5-point game. They set the pick. There's the 3. That shot off. Felton. No good. And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. It's the Thunder. They finish off the second quarter with a 13-5 run. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave. Thank you, David, and we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the... An outstanding first quarter for Paul George. He had 8 points and 3 rebounds. Kenny, let's get your take on Oklahoma City.
Well, I like that they're aggressively going to the rack. That establishes an attitude, a certain toughness. They just need to stay committed to their game plan.
Shaq, what did you think about New York?
Ernie, they're taking way too many threes. The offense has no rhythm. They need to go back to the drawing board. Maybe try to get a little bit more transition, more off the pick and roll. Anything other than shooting that 3. It's not going.
And that's all we can do for now. As the second half begins, we get you back to Kevin Harlan.
I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all.
Welcome back to Oklahoma City, everyone. You can see Chesapeake Energy Arena there in the background as the cars stream down I-40. Knicks trail by 5. Westbrook and Robertson are the backcourt pair. Anthony out there with Adams, and it's George in at the 3. That's Billy Donovan's 5 as we get going here in the second half. No good from Lee.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
You know, no surprise to see the hoop and the harm. Melo with the beautiful touch.
Well, you could feel the clock ticking for Melo's time in New York, and this offseason, it finally ended, Greg.
Yeah, and for a team like this to add Melo to the mix, what a blessing. I mean, Melo still has a ton of offense to offer, and hard to add a player so skilled as Melo for practically nothing.
Outside, Porzingis from the baseline, and it's good. Assisting on the play was Hardaway. Hardaway has got 3 assists in the game. Dishes it to Robertson. Over Porzingis. And the shot falls short this time.
As long as they can hang on to this lead, he won't have to answer for what's been an off night for him.
Hardaway passes to Porzingis. That doesn't go either for Porzingis. Oklahoma City leading by 6. Anthony with the bucket. Anthony's got 5 points in the quarter.
It never ceases to amaze. Melo makes putting up big numbers like this look so effortless. What a performance.
Here's Lee, and he makes good on the layup.
And that's how you want to come out of the locker room. He is fired up.
Absolutely perfect start to the half, setting the tempo right away with an easy opportunity at the cup.
Here's George. The Knicks pull it in. Cantor's got 6 rebounds here tonight. It's good, and the Thunder lead is cut down now to just 4 in the basket for McDermott.
Simply no defense for that. McDermott is skilled at sinking tough shots.
Westbrook dishes to Robertson. Hardaway against Westbrook. In the corner, George with it. 5 to shoot. It's over McDermott, and George gets it to go. George has got 10 points.
Well, what a terrific option he is for them. Really puts a ton of stress on an opponent.
Nice shot by McDermott.
Well, we know that McDermott came into the league with a reputation as a dead-eye shooter. Get your hands up and contest, or he'll make you pay.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. Doris, back in college, you earned a master's in education. How close were you to pursuing that path versus veering into becoming an analyst for basketball?
Yeah, you know, to be honest with you, I always felt like I would be a high school teacher and a basketball coach. And someday maybe I'll coach a boys high school basketball team. Very close, Kevin. I happened into broadcasting. I left coaching at Providence College. They put their women's basketball games on radio, and that was my entree into the business. And slowly but surely, it grew every year.
But still educating still, right? I mean, don't you feel there's a part of education to being an analyst?
Oh, there's no question about it. You are trying to help that viewer to be as close to the action as we are fortunate enough to be. And sure, just describing what's going on. It's a lot of fun.
You are a PhD in broadcasting. A different look for New York. Hernan Gomez is checked in for Enes Kanter. And it's Kyle O'Quinn in for Porzingis. Adams with the screen on Hardaway. Here's Westbrook. And Adams kicks to Anthony. And again, Oklahoma City, no good. Knicks trail by 3. Outside Hardaway with a tie. It's hauled in by George. George has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And he finishes the break with a lay-in. 12 points for him.
Hey, you're asking for trouble now if you let Paul George get room to run. Excellent transition and superb at getting himself in the right position.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run for him there.
Yeah, with the score this tight, someone has to come over and take the charge, or at least contest the shot. You know, you just look back on the way Melo's game has evolved over his career. Certainly a couple of changes. He uses his outside shot far more often now that he is more comfortable with his 3. And not as many fouls drawn, but he still does a really good job attacking the rim.
New York calls timeout. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
Catching up on the changes for New York, Porzingis is checked in for Kyle O'Quinn, and it's Beasley in for McDermott. And think about Melo's game over the years, Doris. He's made adjustments, but overall he has remained incredibly consistent in what his strengths are.
Well, this guy is a tremendous scorer from the mid-range. You can post him on the low block. You certainly don't score 20 points per game every season in your career without having multiple tools at your disposal.
Oklahoma City leading by 4. Right side George. Beasley with the steal. And a fast break now for New York. And then Hardaway with the dunk.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
Yeah, you know, sometimes your gut tells you to take a shot at the pick and then big move to keep the pressure on.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Goes up with a stripe. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron.
Boy, nice team basketball being played right there. You see the open man, and you deliver the ball right away.
Outside Anthony. He feeds it to Robertson. Anthony, the pass to George. Just 4 to shoot. Screen by Adams. A 3-pointer off the mark. For New York, they've gone 7 of 10 on their field goal attempts here in the 3rd. For the tie, it's hauled in by Adams. Adams has got 4 rebounds in this game. George, Porzingis with the block. And it's out of bounds to the Thunder as Oklahoma City retains possession. And the Thunder making a change here. Felton's checked in. Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. Doris, when you watch Porzingis on the defensive end of the floor, it's just jaw-dropping. The ground he can cover and the way he challenges at the rim can change the way a team chooses to attack him.
I agree, because he provides so much in terms of rim protection and weak side help. It's a huge boost to any defense. This guy can be one of the best shot blockers in the league. Does an incredible job switching with his length and speed.
And a new group in here for the Thunder. Johnson, he's checked in for Adams. Patterson comes in for Carmelo Anthony. Grant, he's checked in for George. And Abrinas subbed in for Russell Westbrook. And then for New York, Baker, he's checked in for Lee. And it's Ntilikina in for Hardaway. New York's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Porzingis kicks to Hernangomez. The game now all-time.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
Patterson, the screen, to the paint, over Hernangomez. And he makes the bucket, drew contact, and gets the whistle, too.
Kev, that's just an example of Patrick Patterson being determined as a finisher. He was in tight spaces, and he still makes the shot. That's nice.
And he'll be shooting his first free throw of the game here. And an impressive transition for Patrick Patterson, developing Doris into a stretch 4 in the NBA.
Well, think about it, Kev. This is a guy who only made 24 threes in 3 years at Kentucky. Now in the NBA, he averages over 100 a season.
Oklahoma City has gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Outside, Felton. Back to Grant. Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. 8 feet away. The shot is good off the backboard. And it's a 4-point Oklahoma City lead.
Well, this is why Jeremy Grant's size is important. Stretches out beautifully whenever he's close to the rack.
Just look at what a sniper he is from long range. He's got such an unusual skill for a big fella.
Carmelo Anthony getting it done for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. Back. Now let's hear what head coach Billy Donovan was reviewing with his team in the huddle.
We got to now start to anchor down defensively right now. Trust each other.
All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. New York calls timeout.
It's so fascinating to look back on Thunder history because 3 current players who are dominating the league were together on the Oklahoma City Thunder: Harden, Durant, and Westbrook. In retrospect, the talent level on that team was unreal.
And going back to the Thunder teams with the big 3 of Harden, Durant, and Westbrook, endures some bad luck with the Thunder during those seasons.
Well, first and foremost, they ran into a great Miami team in the NBA Finals. Then after Harden left, injuries to both Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook hampered their opportunities. Still, you think back, and if you're an Oklahoma City fan, you can marvel at the collection of talent you once had.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Well, I was able to listen in on what Jeff Hornacek said to his team. And even though they're down, he was confident. He said, look, guys, I've got all the confidence in the world in you. We've been down this road before. You know what we need to do. Kevin, let's see if they can overcome this deficit.
All right, thank you, David. And New York, looking at who they've got. Porzingis and Hernangomez are together down low. Lee out there with Tim Hardaway Jr. And it's McDermott in at the small forward position. Free throw good, Hernangomez.
How about Willie Hernangomez, right? The Spanish player comes over for his rookie year in 2017. He has certainly showed flashes. This guy has got legit size, and he's only going to improve as he gets comfortable.
Now, here's George. Tight defense on him. Shakes off the strong D and gets to the bucket for 2.
And I like that they're not settling. Hitting the ball on the interior, 8 of their last 10 coming that way.
Anthony against Porzingis. Anthony on the double team. Inside. It's stolen by Adams. And now Anthony pushing it up. No one back to stop him.
You know, you love your star players making others better, and Melo with the vision there.
New York calls timeout. And for Hernan Gomez, actually was brought in at the request of his frontline mate, Porzingis. Hernan Gomez, Doris still finding his way, but has a solid foundation.
Well, I think, Kevin, you can see the footwork and awareness on the offensive end are both solid. One big area for him to improve, though, Kev, would be his play on the defensive end. He's shown that he can handle steady minutes and be a contributor, but that's got to be better.
Michael Beasley, he's checked in for McDermott. Here's Westbrook. The shot comes out.
You know what? They're winning, though, despite the fact that he has just been really off.
Porzingis with the ball. Now Anthony defending. Passes to Hernan Gomez. In deep. That one drops for him. Hernan Gomez has got 5 points now in the quarter.
And that field goal percentage climbing now above 50%. They look like a different team here in the second half.
Porzingis, it's a 2. They grab their own miss. And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a three-point play.
Oh, easy putback. No one got a body on it.
Boy, I'll tell you, Greg, that's just inexcusable. All they had to do was box him out. You learn a lesson the hard way in that instance.
And coming out of the offseason where the Knicks had a really long to-do list, you knew they were going to shake things up and made some moves in free agency and realized they needed to build around Porzingis going forward.
Roberson gets the bucket. We've seen some great competition in this one.
Yeah, 7 already in the game, and I think it shows you how well these two teams match up with one another.
Beasley, the pass to Porzingis. Back to Hernan Gomez. No stopping him there. Jams it in as he's fouled. A chance now for a three-point play. That one's on Anthony.
Oh, Kevin, you love the tough-minded individual play. Willie unafraid to take his shot as this game heats up.
For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Westbrook kicks to Roberson. He dishes it to Anthony. Over Porzingis. Outside for George. Adams, the pass to Carmelo. Feeds it to George. Sinks it. What range from outside. Wow. George has got 9 points here in the second half. The pass to Hernan Gomez. Poke loose. Beasley with the steal. Porzingis against Anthony. Porzingis kicks to Hernan Gomez. Anthony on the double team. And he slams it one-handed.
Oh, with determination, Kevin. Key characteristic when you watch Willie play.
And Anthony with the basket on the assist by Westbrook. And that's now 20 points for Carmelo Anthony. The Knicks have gone 5 of 6 from the field to start the fourth quarter on a roll. And Porzingis, here we go. And that basket's going to count, folks. Gets the goaltending call right there.
Yeah, big call there on the goaltend. He just didn't get to it soon enough. Boy, that's a tough break.
That free throw good from Porzingis.
And how big was that? He is just so reliable, so confident at the free throw line.
Kicks to Roberson. Out left to the wing. Adams dishes to Westbrook. And it's good. 2 points. And the Thunder lead by 1.
There isn't a person in the gym who didn't know Westbrook was taking and making that shot.
It's tipped. Hardaway with it. Back to Porzingis. To the inside. Hernan Gomez. Count it.
Now, that is cold-blooded.
What a shot. He had no fear. I love it.
Here's Westbrook.
Oh, Kevin, that is a terrific effort by Willie, doing his best to become a better rim protector.
To the middle. Count it.
Oh, and he went for the two-hander on the slam, using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there, sure. Outside Westbrook. And here's George for 3. Porzingis with the rebound. Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. And so they choose to intentionally foul. And the first of two, no good, heartbreaking.
Well, Lee has proven to be a valuable role player throughout his career. The combination of shooting and defense is huge.
New York calls timeout. They're up by 3. 27 seconds left to play here in the fourth. And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Kristaps Porzingis.
And the D tried to get physical with him down low tonight, and it really backfired. Instead, he's just tore them up. He was aggressive, inviting the contact, and really just taking it straight to him.
Ntilikina, he's checked in for Tim Hardaway Jr. And he can't get the second one to drop either. Coming up empty that time.
Yeah, just a golden opportunity that's lost right there. Now, we still got a game.
They get it back. Outside for George. Buries the triple. A tremendous three to tie it up.
And you can see Paul George is locked in right now. Big-time shots demonstrate his elite level in the NBA.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over. The score knotted at 66. 15 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Westbrook against Hardaway. He kicks to McDermott. Here's Porzingis. Count it!
Oh, you love the aggressiveness and the swagger that Porzingis has to take that shot. Such a clutch play from the Latvian.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. What's your take, guys?
And the only chance here is a lob at the front of the rim. A tip in to tie the game. There's not enough time to get a catch and shoot.
So a close game sees New York take this one. This win, such a tremendous emotional boost for them.
Really an accomplishment and crazy finish to take a road game like this and simply deflate an entire building.
And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time